From the Frank Beck Chevrolet Studio Annex, it's time again, Time Out Overtime on the Time Out Overtime YouTube channel. I'm your host, Rick Arsenal. First things first, before we do any further, if you haven't done so yet, please get down there in that corner and smash that like and subscribe button. And as always, thanks so much for watching. This was a bountiful, that's a good adjective, I think, used to describe this weekend. Bountiful football-filled weekend, both college and pro. The playoffs in Division I college start tonight on ABC at 8 o'clock, about half an hour from now, with Indiana taking on Notre Dame at South Bend. With three more games coming up tomorrow, we'll the end of the show, we'll review those games, go over the schedule again for tomorrow. Red Wings, that game just started at Little Caesars tonight. They're taking on the Canadiens in a back-to-back series. They'll be in Montreal tomorrow night. Wings come into the game 13, 14, and 4. Good for 30 points. Pistons, how do you get behind? What was he, after 12 minutes after the first quarter last night at Little Caesars against the last place? This shows the big difference, folks, between the West and the East, the NBA. What was the score after 12 minutes last night? 46 to 19, I think, something like that. Look, the NBA, I'm sorry, it's no fun, at least for me anymore. It's no fun watching. All they want to do is shoot threes. I'm sorry that they don't play defense anymore. Their only concern, so you're asking me, how do they score that many points in 12 minutes? They shoot three-pointers. That's if I'm not gonna waste my time watching these guys just stand out there and shoot 3-point shots. That line, I said years ago, should be moved back a good 3 or 4 feet anyway. It's just too easy for them to make threes anymore. There should be no 3-point shot from the corner anymore either. That should be eliminated. I'm sorry, this is the way I feel about it. Michigan State, again, as you know, beat Oakland University the other night. Again, I don't know why they keep playing that game every year. University of Michigan coming off another tough loss, this one to Oklahoma. Last-second 3-point shot plus a foul. They lost by 1 point, 87-86. Wolverines are 8-3 now. Probably won't be ranked when the new rankings come out next week. We'll see. I think Michigan State, is still ranked number 20. U of M got some good news today. Defensive lineman. Where is that here? He's from this area. Yeah, Damon Payne has committed to Michigan after playing, a year or two in Alabama. He entered the portal on Wednesday and today declared that he's going to Michigan. And given what they've lost this year on that defensive line, they could use help. He'll be a big help. Damon Payne transferring from Alabama to Michigan. That's good news for the Wolverines. Hit and miss. First base free agent Christian Walker has signed a new 3-year deal with the Astros for $60 million. There was some thought that the Tigers would have interest in him, but think again. If you watched that game last night, Chargers and Broncos, we saw something that we hadn't seen in a long, long time, and it was a free kick. And it was good. Look, if it's late in the first half or late in the game, and your opponent is punting out of their own end zone, let's say, and you're catching the ball about somewhere between their 40 and midfield. If you call for a fair catch, you get a free kick. What is a free kick? Well, it means basically you're kicking a field goal, but it's a free kick. In other words, that there is no opposition. There is no one across the line from you attempting to block the kick at all. It's basically a free kick, and it was good. No, we don't see that very often. That's a rule that the people are not too aware of in the NFL. But yeah, no, that worked out just fine. Calais Campbell, Miami Dolphins defensive lineman, and a good one, in spite of the fact that he's 38 years old. It's been reported that if the Dolphins were to get eliminated this Sunday by the 49ers, get eliminated from any playoff contention, that they would release Calais Campbell, ergo making him a free agent, free to sign wherever he wants to go, so he can sign with a contender. If you think, wait a minute, if he goes on waivers, wouldn't you have to go through the pecking order? Well, no, because if you've got at least 4 or more years of tenure in the NFL and a team releases you, you do not have to go on waivers. You immediately become a free agent. You're free to go wherever you want to. You don't go through the waivers. I don't know. Does he want to be a Lion? Do the Lions have interest in him? He could sure help. His numbers right now are better than Lee McNeil's. 4 sacks, 7 or 8 tackles for loss. He's had a good year. He's still a very productive player. And the Lions could sure use help on the offensive line now that McNeil's gone. The Ravens might have the inside track because he used to play in Baltimore. So I'm sure we'll find out more about this if the Dolphins lose to the 49ers on Sunday. Hang on a second. So before we talk any more about the Lions or go around the NFL, let's do this. Cold winter's here. Winter is here. First day of winter is tomorrow. 4:20 tomorrow morning. Winter is officially here. If you haven't done so by now, you better get into the service department at Beck Chevrolet and make an appointment. If you haven't done so yet, make an appointment to make sure your vehicle is ready for the winter weather ahead. You get in there and you let them check the strength of your battery, your belts and hoses, wiper blades, antifreeze, and more. Plus, now is the perfect time to get that new set of tires so you don't go slipping and sliding down the highway. And if you don't think your car will make it through another rough Michigan winter, let the sales pros at Beck's help you find a vehicle for all seasons. The 2025s are rolling in nearly every day out of the lot right now, so the selection is tops. Pardon me. You can check out their inventory on their webpage at frankbeckchevy.com, or better yet, stop by the dealership on M99 between Hillsdale and Jonesville. Let them help you experience the Frank Beck difference. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. Chevy Drive, Southern Michigan. Lions 6-point favorites over the Bears on Sunday. The 2 coordinators, as they do every Thursday, met with the press yesterday. Ben Johnson, I think, made it pretty well known that he would like very much to be a head coach. It's just a matter of the right fit. I have no doubt. The only thing that might prevent him from doing so is if the Lions don't win a Super Bowl this year, he may say he's got unfinished business here. The same thing with Aaron Glenn. Well, Aaron Glenn accused the press yesterday of running around, yelling the sky is falling. And the cronies at 92.1 The Ticket are saying no such thing. They're saying we never said anything like that. In fact, that he may be saying this for his own benefit. Then you've got Penei Sewell talking about bandwagon jumpers jumping off the bandwagon just because they lost the game. Look, David Montgomery is not going to have surgery. He got a third opinion. He's going to rehab his knee in hopes of getting back for the playoffs or the Super Bowl. Look, I'm not a doctor. I don't in my opinion, he's done for the year. Best case scenario, if you're a Lion fan, is he's ready to go at the start of next season. Same thing for Aiden Hutchinson. Hutchinson says, well, if you guys make it to the Super Bowl, I'll be there. It'd be nice to see him walk out to the middle of the field at the Super Bowl for the coin flip, have him standing on the sidelines. I certainly wouldn't want him out there playing. No way. The guy broke his tibia and fibula. I'm sure he's still got a lot of hardware in his leg yet. Some of it will always be there. Again, you just hope he's ready to go for training camp next summer. I don't count on Hutchinson coming back. Lee McNeil probably won't be ready for the start of next season, at least not training camp anyway. I think the offensive line for the Lions has something to prove. Frank Ragnow had a bad game last Sunday. The guy across from him had his lunch, but look, he's got the chronic toe condition that's inoperable. He's probably played with a torn pec all year, and now apparently he's got a back issue. This guy must have an awfully high pain threshold, pain tolerance. That's all I got to say about him. You wonder how much pain the guy is playing in. Boy, just this time of the season, you begin to wonder about that. But offensively, they have something to prove. Now, Jahmyr Gibbs was, prior to the injury to Montgomery, was taking about, 50% of the snaps. Now he'll more than likely getting about 75% with Craig Reynolds, Jabbar Jefferson, and even Sione Vaki backing him up. We'll see how many snaps these guys get on Sunday. And that's another thing. It's going to be sunny and dry, but very cold at Soldier Field on Sunday. They're not going to get out of the 20s, and who knows what the wind chill is going to be. But I think the Lions will be ready for it. As far as the Bears are concerned, interesting. Since Matt Eberflus left, their defense has regressed. Not as good as it was when Eberflus was there. Remember, Eberflus, a defensive guy, was calling the defensive signals. Say what you want to about it, but he was calling the defensive signals, and they were playing. I think they were playing pretty well. But the last couple of games, they haven't been able to stop the run. The Lions had better focus on that. So the Bears' predicament is a lot like what you saw happen with the Jets. When Robert Saleh was with the Jets, you got to remember another defensive coach who was calling defensive signals there. Since he left, their defense has taken a giant dump at MetLife. It's just gone downhill since he left, just like the Bears when Eberflus left. I think the Lions' offensive line has something to prove, if nothing else, to themselves on Sunday, that they can still run the ball, because the last two games, average yards per run, 3.2. They're running the ball just fine up until that second half of the game on Thanksgiving Day, and I don't know what happened, but Caleb Williams has regressed. Now, he looked pretty good that second half of Thanksgiving Day, but Ron Brown is calling the signals, calling the offensive signals there. And that's another thing. Since he has taken on the role of interim head coach, I don't think their offense has been as good either. Anyway, the Lions are 6-point favorites. My final score for Sunday, Lions 31, Bears 16. Immediately following that game, the Vikings will be taking on the Seahawks in Seattle. Geno Smith and Kenneth Walker are playing Sunday. I don't think either one of them is 100%, but they are playing. Last I looked, I think the Vikings were 3-point favorites. I think it wouldn't surprise me to see the Seahawks beat the Vikings Sunday. You got to remember, too, the Vikings the following week got to play the Packers. So it's very possible that that final game, Week 18, January 5th at Ford Field between the Lions and Vikings, there still is no announced time for that game yet. And if there's anything on the line in that game, It will be flexed to Sunday night. Even if the Lions would have clinched the division by then, they'll have to win that game if they want the number 1 seed. So as long as there's something on the line, I think you'll see that game get flexed to Sunday night. The Packers have not clinched a playoff spot yet, but I have no doubt they will. The Seahawks are still trying to win that division out there yet too, by the way. So that's a big game for them. They got a lot on the line. So as we get closer here, there's still a lot on the line yet. Look, the Lions have their fate in their own hands. It would be so huge for them if they could get the number 1 seed and get a first round bye. And now you're at home for Ford Field games the next 2 weeks. And you more or less could say the road to New Orleans runs through Ford Field. That's pretty much the way it'll be if the Lions get the number 1 seed. So anyway, Lions 31, Bears 16. That's my final score for Sunday. I'm also predicting that the Seahawks indeed will beat the Vikings. Now, I'm not predicting it, but I've seen other people predicting that the Commanders will beat the Eagles on Sunday. Still a lot on the line yet, isn't there? There really is. So, okay, we'll close with a little college football talk because the game is about to start in South Bend. We'll quickly go through these power rankings too. As you know, I'm always putting in a good word for Tim Lindley at Quality PC in downtown Hillsdale. Any tech issues at all, any tech issues you have, get in there and see him at 37 Waldron Street, downtown Hillsdale, a couple hundred feet west of Howell Street. Any technical issues you have at all, sales, service, computers, new or used, maybe the computer you have now needs a little work done on it, flat screen TV, mounting, programming, internet installation. Maybe you're getting a new internet provider, printers, new or used, anything at all. Get in there and see. This is the guy you want to see for any technical issues in our area. Tim Lindley, Quality PC, downtown Hillsdale. That's Lindley, 37 Waldron Street, 517-610-5372. Or better still, as I said, get in there and see him. And when you do, tell him me and Mickey sent you. Quickly, on ABC tonight, Indiana playing Notre Dame. 3 more games tomorrow at, let's see here, at noon. At noon tomorrow, you've got a number 11 SMU at number 6 Penn State. That's a noon game on TNT. Then immediately following that at 4 o'clock on TNT, you've got number 12 Clemson at number 5 Texas. And then tomorrow night, and once again, back on ABC, you've got number 9, Tennessee, at number 8, Ohio State. It's going to be cold in Columbus tomorrow night. It really is. Quickly, let's go through these power rankings for Pro Football Focus. We got the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to do the top 10. They got the Kansas City Chiefs, number 1. Eagles, number 2. Buffalo Bills, on the strength of their victory over the Lions, are number 3. They've got the Lions number 4 this week, and that shouldn't surprise anybody. Here's what they say about the Lions. The Lions suffered their first loss since week 2 in a high-scoring game against the Buffalo Bills, dropping to 12-2 and giving the Vikings a chance to challenge for the NFC North title after their Monday night win over the Bears. The bad news got worse, with David Montgomery being lost for the season due to an MCL tear. Well, not so fast there. As we know now, he's not having surgery. He's not on IR, at least not now anyway. The Lions are already dealing with numerous injuries, and the question now is whether their depth can carry them the rest of the way. Amon-Ra St. Brown continues to shine with his 86.7 PFF grade ranking, 5th among all receivers. Rounding out the top 10, the Ravens are at 5, Vikings 6, Packers 7, the Steelers 8, the Texans are 9, and the Denver Broncos come in at number 10. That's going to about do it. It's almost game time. Don't forget tomorrow morning here locally from 9 to 10. Time out with Andy and Chad on 92.1 FM WCSR And I will talk to you all again on Monday. So until then, you've got a lot of football to watch, both college and pro this weekend. Enjoy every minute of it. Winter's going to be conducive to staying inside and watching a lot of football. So we'll talk to you again tomorrow morning on the air, and then again on Monday night. So until then, remember, please treat each other with respect. Have a good rest of your weekend. Bundle up, stay warm, enjoy all the football. And as always, thanks for watching. So until Monday, so long, everybody.